Hello everyone, my name's Stirx, and today we're going to be finding out what does remain of Edith Finch. I don't know very much about this, and I have even less to say about it. So follow me, and let's go find out what does remain of Edith Finch. This is absolutely stunning though, I have to say. Ooh, ooh. Somebody gone missing.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Okay. I'm liking the vibes. I'm not liking the fact that already someone's gone missing. I think I'd be a bit strange if I said I like that.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
I mean, that looks like a standing OSHA violation, to be fair. Edith? Are you Edith? Are you Edith? That's a good point. Are we Edith? Am I Edith? Oh my god, I like your little post box. Orcas Island Gazette.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
So what happened?
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Milton? Lewis? What else? This bodes well. This is already sad. Too bad I can't read. This property is protected by video surveillance. Trespassers will be prosecuted. A lot of the time when you see a sign like that, it's not.
My mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
My guess is a
Maybe she thought I'd know.
door?
Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
A door or a box are the two most usual unlockables. I love this. The Finches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Were there 5 of us? Which one is us? Were there 5 of us, or is that, am I reading too much into it? I can go left or right. I'm gonna go left. Oh, this is stunning. There's actually a walk that looks quite a lot like this near where I live. Which doesn't really narrow it down particularly.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
What kind of questions, Edith? I'm gonna keep calling her Edith till I'm proven otherwise. I just presume that we are Edith, but I don't think it will be. Look at this place.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
I mean, I didn't think it was uncomfortable till you mentioned the fact that it's uncomfortable, and now I do feel a little bit uneasy. Cheers, Edith. Another missing poster. So Milton went missing, Lewis died. What else happened?
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Ooh. That is a gorgeous little soundtrack. I like your truck. We're in Washington. Okay. I don't know enough about the states to be able to really use that information intelligently. Why does that look like a big clam? Oh, it's a big dragon. I was going to say it looked a bit like a mouth, and that's because it is. That's so cool. Is that a slide? So, oh no. Look at all the missing posters. How many did you print? I could never... Fortunately, I'm in a position where I've never known anyone go missing. but I don't think I could ever imagine how that would feel. This is gonna be...
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Should I be afraid of the house? I thought it looked quite whimsical and cute. Okay, so we have some kind of ramp access. Disabled access. I do feel like I'm meant to go through the front door. I'm just kind of drawn to not the beaten path. You know? If a cat jumps out at me, I'm gonna cry.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Oh, it's for a dog, not a cat. Sorry, my fault, my wrong.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
I don't know this house, but they've done such a good job that I actually feel like I am coming home. Like I'm seeing all this for the first time, but in a way where it's familiar enough that it's almost like I am coming back as this, you know, older Edith. Are you trying to make that look like the moon and the sun, or did you put that there so you could play tennis with yourself? Got some good old-fashioned bikes. Actually, they're quite nice little bike models, actually. I did a stint where I was repairing bikes for a while when I was studying. And as far as I can tell, everything's there. They're a 1-speed, so you don't have any gears, so you don't need any gears on the handles. Yeah, that's cool. And of course, I'm gonna call it a man bench. You know what I mean. Anyone can use this bench, but this is very much like what every grown man really wants in his life, is just a bench where they can just make things. And that is absolutely stunning. I don't know what that's for, but that is quite pretty. That's some gorgeous woodwork. And I mean, things are dusty, but they're not as dusty as you'd think to say that she left, what, like 7 years ago or whatever it was. I'm presuming that's when they left. That's when the bills stopped getting paid.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
This is such a whimsical little house. What kind of books have we been reading? Lots of kitchen, but lots and lots of kitchen stuff. Even more Finches. You've got branded family stuff. That's so cool. Lots of tuna.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Composed. I'm ignoring the fact it's the same book, stack of books. I'm ignoring that. The attention to detail is absolutely astonishing. Just
like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Same. I have like 2 takeaways that deliver to my village. So I'm winning in life over Edith, unfortunately. But yeah, the joys of living in the middle of nowhere. Edith, Edie, Lewis, and Dawn. And then Milton went missing. Am I named after Grandma? Is that the thing? Man, why did I choose this as my first game back?
Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Oh, it's Sam. Oh, to be fair, I can see there's salmon literally on the thing. Was it my nana? I feel like my nana used to work in something similar, like some kind of food factory, and she used to do the same. She used to bring back loads. Oh, like an old stove, or is that a wood burner? Is that a heater? I think that's more like a heater, but I can't tell. It looks like an old stove. It's difficult to tell. I mean, that is a proper old stove over here. This is the stove. And I love how you can hear the wind blowing through the extraction fan.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
There is something to be said about coming back to a house after you've kind of had a major bit of turmoil. Looks like they left in a bit of a rush. Or something happened, so they had to leave in a rush. I don't like the fact that Grandma's chair and oxygen's still here. I don't like that. There's even family photos, and there's the ferry that we were on at the beginning of the game. Ah, okay, that's the garage that we were just in. Oh.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
Oh, great grandma. Damn. What happened to... Oh, do I even want to know what happened to Grandma? Do I even want to know?
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
I don't like the unsettling descriptions that I'm getting, Edith. I think you and me are gonna have to have some words, because I am quite... I'm quite cozy here. Like, I'm aware that it's uncomfortable coming back somewhere. But just... Like, look at that! I was also trying to crouch there, but crouch is not crouch. There isn't a crouch. It's just zoom in. I just love little quirky houses.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
It sank? Oh, it's where we are quite close to the coast. I think you can actually see what's left of the house. Is that a house? I think that might be the house out there. There's even some statues, look. I don't know what they're doing out there, but well, hopefully I can go have a look. Thing is, like, there's noises here that I think a lot of people would find unsettling if they were in a house by themselves, like the rattling, the clattering, and all that kind of stuff. Genuinely, I find it quite soothing. I don't know if that's because I was on a ship for a while, and this is kind of like, other than the engines, this is pretty much all you hear. I maybe wouldn't stack a TV on books. I feel like that would be a bit too precarious for my liking. Oh. I also like it when games actually have an actual player model. It just feels like... Was that the King in Yellow? Yes, and the Necronomicon. Hang on. Hang on. Probably going to be really, really shiny, so I do apologise. Going to be real shiny, but... I also have the Necronomicon. It's the combined works of... Well, it's a Necronomicon, otherwise known as the combined works of H.P. Lovecraft. I like that. They have their taste of Lovecraftian horror in this family. I do. Look at it. Look at the little jug. What am I doing? Someone was at Iwo Jima. I'm gonna guess that's Iwo Jima. It's probably not Iwo Jima, but there's a very, very famous photograph of the Yanks at the top of a hill with the flag. I want to say it was Iwo Jima, but please correct me, because I've also got a horrible feeling I might be wrong. I think my brain's just defaulting to like the famous one. I can't remember. Anyway, more Finches. I could go downstairs. What's in here? Barbara. Please don't be a clown.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Why? Why is this almost worse than a clown? Oh, okay, I was going to say why is there Bigfoot, but look, you can see Barbara is here. She's in a Bigfoot movie. Who was Barbara? This photo wants to be cute, and this is one thing I love about family photos, because I've got a few of them, is when a family photo looks like it's going to be cute. And then it's just hideous. Like, look at their faces. Like, it's so unflattering. But honestly, that is like one of the most flattering forms of memory. In my personal opinion, I have got so many family photos where I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, why is that even a thing? But it is a thing. They were, looks like they were in the middle of, I can't tell if moving in or moving out. No, they must have been moving out, right? Oh, okay. That's one of those... That sounds less good. Why have they expansion foamed the door shut and put a board over it? But can we just appreciate the gorgeous stacking of the books? Yeah, got too many questions.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
I think in that kind of situation, you can't really give up hope. I think if you ever gave up hope, then you just kind of... I'm not even saying anything. You guys know exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, you can't give up. You can't give up in those situations. You have to just keep on keeping on. Oh wait, no, there was another downstairs bit, wasn't there? I could go down into the basement, so we'll go into the basement first.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ah, what are you keeping down there, Dawn? Lots of bleach. Is it Bigfoot? Have you got
After Milton
Bigfoot?
disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
All the bedrooms? But where do you sleep? Okay, I see what you mean by the peepholes now. That saw is a work of art. That is absolutely stunning. So I'm guessing whatever this area used to be, it used to be like a logging kind of area. I guess, and I'm not like, oh, look at the photos. I love photographs so much. I love like the silly ones as well with the masks and stuff. Is this Grandpa Sven?
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
Odin, so your family is from the Scandinavias? Is my guess. Oh, they've even got the real photos.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
How many people lived in your house?
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
How many people lived in your house? 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
A runaway reef. The year 1866 was by a bizarre development. I haven't actually read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's on my list. Before we go through that, I just want to have another quick look around because I feel like there might be the odd bit I've maybe missed. And I just want to admire Molly. Does this family have a history of people not living very long? That sounds really... I'm not trying to be kind of crass or anything. I mean, genuinely, like... Seems to be a lot of people don't survive very long. Sven and Edie. Oh, Edie died. Is that why we moved out? Because eventually it was just the three of us, the two of us, because Lewis died as well, didn't he? Alvin, Gregory. Looks like Sam was in the Air Force.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Yeah, little movie star, little movie star. Oh, look at them painting everything. That's so cool. Oh, but again, everything's expansion foamed. Like they've done a real good job of covering
Mom
things
must have
up.
locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
So, from what I can gather, Edie passed away. I don't know when Lewis died. I don't know if that was before or after Edie, but my guess is once they were both gone, we moved out. That seems to be kind of what happened. Judging by the state that the kitchen table was in, I would imagine maybe it was Edie was the last to go. I feel like maybe Lewis died before then, but I could be wrong. So, let's go see what Mama was afraid
From the
of.
paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Afraid of the past. Or afraid of letting go.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Molly. Have we heard anything about Molly yet? I like your owl mask. And your ant farm. I've never had an ant farm. Molly Finch. Dear
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Molly's the one who I think I made the comment about, does everyone in this family die early? It's interesting that Plant was dead before.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
I think that's just been in there with what looks like poop.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
I think it's a bit strange locking someone in their bedroom. That's just me. I don't really want to go over to the goldfish in case I eat it. Please don't eat the goldfish. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Good. You leave Christopher the damn well alone, young lady. Don't eat
I kept
toothpaste.
eating and eating.
You're gonna make yourself very
I ate a
ill.
lot of things that night.
I hope they're real. Oh, they're gonna be real, I think. I mean, they sounded crunchy.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I
Oh,
reached
you're
out for her.
stunning. No, you steady, careful, careful.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
Oh my goodness, I thought we were gonna die then. Please don't eat. Please don't eat the bird. Please don't eat the bird. Please don't eat the
I tried to
bird.
be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Please be careful, don't eat the bird. I think I'd be scarred for life if I eat the bird. Where's the bird gone? Where'd the bird? Herb. Yay.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Can I even reach? How do I... Ah, down here. Oh, I'm doing parkour! Hello, bird. I don't really want to disturb your nest. And I don't really want to disturb you, but the game's kind of making me. I do
jumped,
apologize.
I almost got her.
Why are you trying to get her? Kid, leave the bird alone, he says, following the bird.
I could tell she was getting really tired.
I don't like this.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
I think this kid's got problems.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Alright, I feel like I'm meant to be keeping my eye out for something here, but
Rabbits.
where are the rabbits? Where are the rabbits? I see the rabbit. How do I get the rabbit? Oh, oh goodness. I'm so sorry, I don't want to be hurting
I
you.
imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
I think this kid has problems.
A mama rabbit.
Why are you going after the mama rabbit?
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Okay. Okay, we're a shark now. That's just a thing.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Oh, I don't like this. This is like reverse horror. Oh, no.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Where'd she go? Where'd she go? I didn't know this was going to be part of the game. I've lost her. Oh wait, no, there she is. I'm so sorry, my friend.
Grabbed up tight. When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
No. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, kid. Nuh-uh. I don't like where this is going. No.
I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
I am horrified, but I can't look away. Where are we going, kiddo? Of course, we're going to someone's toilet. Oh, I don't think I was meant to see that. Oops. Oops. Oh, there we go. I don't think I was meant to see that. Oops. I'm not going to want to go to the toilet by the next week. Oh, is it going to be me? No! No, I'm not going for Christopher. I am not going for Christopher. I am not going for Christopher. I refuse. Or is it me?
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I
the fuck is wrong with that kid?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Huh? I hope none of that was real. I mean, I'm presuming none of that's real. Molly?
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Lurpy, Rob, Purpley. Is that because they're a bit purple? Burpee? Can't read it from there.
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
And I'm wearing them still, by the looks of it. What have I got? I was gonna say, is that someone's ring around my neck? I can't quite tell.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Yeah, I bet she would be.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
I was right, we are named after Grandma. Great-Gran. Edie won't go. 72-year-old woman refused to evacuate because of a little forest fire.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
It's interesting that on the official photo there isn't the dunk 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 bit of the house. Well, there she's 72. Well, when was she born? Before we were born. That's. I know she was born before we were born. I'm saying like 72 would have been before we were born.
People Sven was killed by a dragon. She could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
I love that for them though. Like I love that kind of twisted humor that people can have between each other. Like there's something where like if I ever like pop my clogs, I would very much hope that I'd be remembered in some kind of weird way like that. And you're like, ah, yeah, he's killed by a dragon. It's like, no, he was just something real mundane. Some other craftsmanship in this is amazing. I mean, I know like obviously it's made by people in 3D, but I know how difficult that is to do as well. But just, I'm looking at this from, if I was here, seeing all this made out of wood.
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And misfortune. Odin Finch is the latest victims of the family curse. His wife Ingeborg, and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Oh dear. Oh, I pressed the wrong button there. Just trying to get out of this. How do I back out? There we go.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
It really does. So I don't know if we're gonna see every single person in this house. I would hope we can. I mean, that's gonna be a bit longer than I was expecting, but I don't know. I don't even really know how long this game is. I know someone said it's about 2 to 3 hours. So I guess we'll see. But I know I'd like to take my sweet time playing games. Built 1937 by Sven Finch.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Oh my god, this is hideous, Edie. You were so eccentric. What happened on a Tuesday? Drinking wine on the toilet. Oh. There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
I love this. This is a dark room. This is a dark
Sven
room.
gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
An old man said to me once that photography is the art of memory. So anytime I see somewhere like this where one would process photos and whatever, it kind of takes me back to that. I've never processed like negative photos before, unfortunately. I've never had the privilege of doing that. And especially like the prevalence of like digital stuff. Like when I was younger, we used to have those disposable film cameras and you'd send off the films to get, you know, developed professionally, but this is a skill that I do wish I learned from the old man. Yeah, I wish that's something I would have learned. Another thing about Milton. A space room? Who's the budding astronaut? So Calvin and Sam. Sam, I think he was the one that had like the Air Force logo outside. And judging by all the camo. Did he ever make it? That's cruel. And it's genius. That says more than any words could ever say. I don't even need to know. I don't need to know. Looks like Calvin was the one who did all the photography. This is Calvin here. Calvin got to grow old. And he kept everything.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Sam, sorry, I got the names mixed up. Sam grew old, Calvin didn't.
I
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Same. Been there. Tried that. Feel like I've missed some names.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Please, can I put it back? Please.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
I might miss characters, and if that's the case, I will come back and I will revisit at some point and try and find things, but I'm not going to force it in my playthrough. I just want to
The
experience
passages were a
it.
pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
More Milton, okay. Oh, this takes me back to the main bit. Okay, cool. So I finally unlocked that. Oh, bloody hell. She did have Bigfoot. You did have Bigfoot. I was right.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
She does have Bigfoot hiding in a room. That is awful. And the music's awful too. What's happened? What happened to her?
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
She didn't live long either. Oh no.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
This is a bit grim.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
He's just going to be doing this to scare me, isn't he? That's all he's going to be doing.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh dear. Oh
Barb,
dear.
relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
I love the comic book style. I mean, I'm hating the rancid vibes right now. I'm gonna go whack something with a crutch.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
No way.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And the irony was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Is it gonna be Rick?
There's gotta be another way out of here.
Come on. Oh yes. I remember now.
She played her part beautifully.
Right, Molly's room.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groan. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
We just killed a man. I think. The 60s was mental. That's not good.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
I don't like this.
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
And I was trying to take that somewhat seriously, and then the pun dropped. I hate puns.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. I know she wasn't actually eaten by monsters, but then that pun was... Why? Why? The thing is, there's a lot of like child stars that end up like suffering because there's too much like expectation. So I can go back out the way I came, which I think is the way it wants me to go. And now I know to go into the basement.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Yeah. That would make sense. I like this. I like how it is a bit of like a knowledge vania. Like, that's something that I probably could have done at the beginning of the game if I knew to, if I knew how to do it, or if I just messed around, I could have technically done that. Because I just stopped when this came out. And you would, wouldn't you? You would stop. I love that. I wonder if they actually did find the ear, or if that's just like made up for like the horror story. Probably just made up for the horror story, right? I hope it's just made up for the horror story. Oh, Sven's workshop. This is why...
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Yeah. I'd imagine that's probably actually a smart idea. So many logs. This is what Edie was painting on, wasn't it? Oh, and the little dragon slide, a little dragon prototype, look. This is a gorgeous, very well organized workshop, if I may say so myself.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
What kind of
I
packages?
thought maybe she was hiding presents.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
I also apologize if it's a bit dark. It is just a little bit dark. There's not much I can do about that.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Fallout shelter?
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
I'll read that in a moment. I'm intrigued. Did she build all this for Walter? So he can feel safe? Oh no, I just read the first line.
Everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
What?
Even a monster on the other side of a door starts to feel normal.
Please don't say that.
Almost friendly.
Oh yeah, time for another can of peaches.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
That's been a long time. We've aged. Jesus Christ. I can't remember what the date was. But it was before that.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
But how... Oh! We're going further down? This house has just got so many secrets.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
This game is gonna break me down the middle. He looks so sad. He looks so sad.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Come on, Edie. There you go.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Maybe
it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Do we have a child? Are we old?
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
This is stunning.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Pet cemeteries are a bit creepy. I've been to a few. There's one at a local hall near where I live that I only recently discovered. And it's beautiful because it's so out of the way and it's kind of forgotten. But there's still these kind of memories there to discover if you know where to look.
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
Just checking dates, trying to wrap my head around what order
There's so
everyone
many
went.
things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday. and find everything out for myself.
I feel like I've missed things. Unless there's a way to get back in the house from here?
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing,
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
I am so freaking clever. I got the impression that this might be actually... we're telling this story to someone. I didn't know if it was going to be our child or if it's like a friend or to us, the viewer, you know. I completely... I get it. I get it.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Yeah, if Grandpa Sam was in the military, I know quite a few people who are in the military in the UK, and I know in the States you have a different culture with it, but they are a different breed of people, and they see the world in a very unique way. It's not a bad way, not a bad way. It's just how they have to be to survive in what it is that they've chosen to do with their lives. And I think that's the same for everyone. We all find ways to survive with what we choose to spend our time doing. Some of it is having a bear on your floor. Oh no, I've seen this. I've seen the Spaceman. I've seen Calvin Spaceman. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That one was hard. That one... Other than the hunting, that had a lot in common with my old man. He was big into photography, and no matter how many holidays we went on, he just had to take photos of absolutely everything. Everything was a photo, everything was a memory, and I had that same conversation like, Dad, we don't have to take photos of everything. And he's like, you're gonna be glad that I did one day. You're gonna be glad for the memories. And I am. My dad didn't make me shoot a buck though, however, so, you know. This doesn't feel safe to stand on. I don't know much about American houses, but the fact that it all looks like it's made out of cardboard and timber doesn't fill me with much confidence for standing on it.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Oh my gosh, I'm a little frog.
It's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I'm gonna ignore Mama and Papa arguing.
I wonder what he saw.
Oh.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw. It sure made him happy.
Oh, this is so silly. I needed this. Oh. I need to get whatever that thing was.
I know how silly it sounds.
No. Leave the soap alone, kiddo.
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
I wanted to cry. And then I wanted to laugh. But I felt that was inappropriate. That was warped. This game has problems. And I love it. Oh, Gregory. My little froggy baby boy. Never change.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
I like your mohawk, Gus. I have a feeling I'm gonna read this poem and it's gonna make me cry. So here we go.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and flight. You may kiss the bride.
I just saw the totem pole, and I think I know where this is going. Yeah. Oh no.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
I know where this is going.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
I've seen how strong the weather can be by the sea and at sea, and it is terrifying. Oh, Gus. I mean, I like the vibes of Gus. I think Gus is a pretty cool fella. Ooh.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
You probably shouldn't be rock climbing when you're 22 weeks pregnant.
It was as far away as she could get.
I mean, I don't know how far long that is. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. But it's still probably not the best idea. No, we'll start here.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
I feel like when you lose someone, it's different for everyone. You can use it as a crutch, and whatever helps, and I'm never going to take that away from anyone. I think for me, it was quite the opposite. I think it put a lot of things into perspective, and it wasn't like out of hatred for anything like that. If anything, like it was really weird when I lost Dad. I felt, after the initial like grief and everything, I felt so at peace. You know? I keep saying like no one ever tells you how quiet an affair grief is. But I think in another life, you know, and maybe that could have helped if I needed it.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
That's who Sanjay is. I keep seeing Sanjay. What am I missing? Aha, the window.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
The freaking cans of salmon.
And to see kids in the house again.
Milton was 5 when he went missing. I think that's what, like, the memorial said. I was just saying the pause. Milton. Oh no, I can't do maths. That's much more than 5. He was 13 when he went missing. But still, that is incredible art for a 13-year-old. Incredibly talented. Are these all family members, do we think? That looks a little bit like Barbara. Was it Sam's dad liked fishing because he taught him in Calvin to go fishing?
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
It made you a little... They made you at school. Oh, it's not. It's to teach you about... To teach you about the family.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
He really likes his black paint, I've noticed. Everything's black. The soundtrack is just monumental. Like, I've spoken about it before in previous videos. I'm trained as a musician, and one of the things that I find a lot helps in video games and with movies is a really good soundtrack. Just look at the view. I lived in a house once that had like a tower on it. It used to be like an old part of an old priory, I believe. We just rented it for a few years, and it had this tower. And I remember it was a tiny little tower, but like, we didn't have anything up there. But sometimes it was just nice to go up there and just to look at a place that I knew intimately from a completely different perspective, and a very unique perspective that no one else would ever get to look through.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
God damn, Milton. Is that why you painted the door like that? Downstairs?
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Wrong button, apologies. Some of these are absolutely incredible. And again...
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Strikes me as Dawn, our mum, it strikes me as she very much struggles with letting go. And I mean, it must be incredibly difficult. Like, when most of your family has passed away or gone missing, that must be hard. It must be difficult. it's hard enough losing like 1 or 2 people in my life, you know? Some of these are absolutely stunning. Like, what was he? Did you make this? Oh, I like the ship with balloons.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
That sounds a bit ominous. That sounds like your mum disappeared him, which I know she wouldn't do. But still, every time I feel like I know the vibe of the game, it just kind of twists it slightly. Is that a boat? That's a freaking boat. And I love how, like, I came through here and I didn't even see that stairwell. Then you turn around and it's just there. You know, you can just look at it. Like, just look at that. This is absolutely gorgeous. Reading is a hoot. I hate stupid puns. I hate them with a burning passion.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
Why would she blame Edie?
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Okay, I've got a few different ways. Oh no, I have no other way to go. I must go this way. Onto the boat. Which is very apt. Of course.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Yep. Fair enough, buddy, old pal. Whatever boats you float. Diploma, I can't see what the diploma was on. Right, we'll look
Lewis
at
and I
the...
spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Same, I'm only good at like a handful of games.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh, that's so cool.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
I am also manually doing the fish stuff, by the way. It's not automatic. I'm just multitasking.
Imagining a labyrinth.
Right, if it's labyrinth, I'm going to
Feel his
stick
way
to the
about.
left. I'm going to try to do this the smart way.
And something moved. Bats. And toads.
I'm not going that way. That looks... Okay. That's a dinosaur.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
I feel like I should be vibing to this, but I also feel like it's
starting a band.
inappropriate, because I feel like this is actually quite dark.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him. That all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
I like the Mario reference.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a...
May as well go left, we're already heading that way.
beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for...
Let's just go left unless it's absolutely just a
Radiant
bad
rays.
choice. I want it to be happy. I want him to... I know what's going to end up happening. And I want him to be happy.
He followed the sound of his...
Electric sitar, yes.
electric sitar.
Oh, I missed one. Oops.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Stop adding too many fish. You are speeding up. I know you are. You're doing this on purpose. It's not me slowing down. You are adding more work.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising him.
Hello, Molly.
His prince waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
No. No.
Down his head.
No. No. No, no, no. No. No, no, no. 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 This.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
This game is cruel. Oh, it's got, yeah, it's mucky. Let's leave it at that. Oh, my man, I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Trying to escape from things, I think, is something that's very easy to kind of fall into as a trap. And I don't really have anything to say that is applicable to everyone, because everyone has different experience in life and whatnot, but I understand the escapism.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
I get the impression Edith doesn't like her mum.
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
The thing is, like, your mum, her mum, she lost so much.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
It was grief. Disaster relief.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Thing is, you can't make... It's difficult because Edie at this point must be old and obviously very ill, and you need to look after her, but... Call me cold-hearted, but you can't move into someone's house and then when your life falls apart, take everything from them, all their memories, all their loved ones, all their stories, because you can't face them. No matter how hard it is, you don't have to face them. You don't have to put yourself through that, but you cannot force that on other people. And that feels like that's
what
what...
you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Don't worry, Edie, I'm just gonna keep walking straight. I know that house is in front of me somewhere. I'm just not gonna turn around.
Turned around.
No, you didn't. No, 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 no. No, please. Edie, I'm refusing to turn around. I am refusing to turn around. I am not gonna turn around.
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
Oh my goodness.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And can appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
I'm a baby.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
That is such a poignant, beautiful story, and I feel like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of ways you could take that story. I think there's a lot of metaphors. I was this close to fully losing it, but I think because I've been crying on and off throughout the game, I've just kind of lost the strength to keep doing that. I think there's something to be said about this life taking the youth from us. I think is kind of like which has only just come to me now that I'm seeing all these wonderful, talented people who I presume this is their childhood photos and their memories and their stories. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it's not a curse. Maybe you do. Maybe that is the curse. Maybe that is the curse. Maybe the curse is to lose oneself at a very young age. I think the whole thing of growing up is a lie and a myth. I think the best people never do. My dad didn't. He died a senile old fart, but he was a child at heart. You know, he was a giddy, stupid, immature child, and he was fantastic because of that. But I stand by what I said earlier. You should never, ever, no matter how hard it is for you, it's okay for it to be difficult. It's okay for stories to be difficult and memories to hurt. It's okay. Hell, I survived. When I had to go through everything, I had been off medication for like 3 months, if that. I was learning to regulate my emotions again without medication, and I lost the most important man in my life. I survived it. I'd never give a kid a BB gun. But what I'm trying to say is stories are difficult. And they can hurt, but that's because it reminds us that you loved. And you were loved. Even if you maybe didn't think so. Just to interrupt myself, I realised that I didn't really have a chance to do a proper post-game think. I know, steady on. So what I'm just going to do is just take a few minutes. You can skip this if you don't want to, but take it from like my Outer Wilds kind of heritage. I want to take the time to share my thoughts and just kind of now I've had like it's been about a day since I played the game. I've been able to kind of talk it through with a few people who have played the game and just form a few thoughts and opinions. First of all, absolutely loved it. I think that I was correct in saying, I think I said something along the lines of it borderlines becoming a piece of art. And I think one of the beautiful things about games like that is that you can, there's a few ways we can take this. We can either take it quite literally, which is one way, or we could try and look into it, you know, be a bit metaphorical, do that thing that used to piss me off in English classes. You know, that thing where it's like, oh, the curtains were blue, therefore it showed a mood of sorrow, and it's all macabre, and the curtains were fucking blue. You could take it one way or the other, and that's what I love. I do think that one potential way of looking at this is it's definitely a kind of almost an allegory for generational trauma. This idea of passing down this curse, so to speak. I don't know if that's what the house is representing, you know, building on top of past generations and not letting go and just kind of dumping the problems on the next generation. That's potentially one way of looking at it. If you look at it completely literally, the family had issues. I think there's probably a history of mental health issues in that family. And a lot of the fantastical elements are quite easily explained by the scientific. Like Molly, I didn't actually come up with this. My incredibly good confidant came up with this, and they know who they are. That was in what, the 30s, the 40s. She ate an entire tube of toothpaste and some choice berries that were a bit crunchy. She was just, for want of a better word, absolutely off her tits on something. I don't know what they used to put in toothpaste back then, but I wouldn't want to eat an entire tube of it, let alone at age, what was she, about 10, I think I worked out. I can't remember. I'm sure editing me will pop up the actual age. Thank you. But yeah, she was just delirious because she poisoned herself. Odin has the most metal kind of story arc going. I have so much respect. It's just like, I have this family curse and now I'm going to take my house and sail across the Atlantic to Washington and we're going to have a great time. And then he gets there and sinks in his house. Like, you can't think of a more kind of cool, epic way to go. But I think the things that kind of affected me most, honestly, Walter, looking back. I don't know what Walter saw. We don't actually know what killed. I feel awful now because I can't remember the names. There's too. I'm awful with names in general. IRL. Barbara. It was Barbara. It was Barbara. She was the movie star, wasn't she? Don't know what killed Barbara, but he saw it happen. And it completely crushed his confidence. He became a recluse. He became incredibly agoraphobic to the point where he had to live in the basement just to kind of get by. And I think the thing about Walter that is really sad is they spent most of their time building trains. You can see a lot of train sets in there. And he never realized that the rumbling was a train. Same time, every day. You know, it's running on time because they do, you know, that's how trains tend to work. And I don't know what caused that month of silence. Maybe there was like engineering works on the train line. That tends to happen. But his kind of final monologue about if he just had one new day, he could die happy. And he found his bravery. Let alone the fact the sun was a freaking great steam locomotive. That completely crushed me. And the other one that, the two that broke me down the middle, Sam, I do not agree with the fact that he kind of essentially forced Dawn to shoot a deer. I don't really support hunting personally. I appreciate it's something that we have to do in a survival situation, but in this day and age, I don't think you really have to do that, but that's a different story. Shouldn't have maybe forced his daughter to shoot a deer. Because he kind of did the thing, oh, you don't have to. But, and if anyone ever says that, just red flag. But he reminded me in the early part of the flashbacks very much of my dad. And teaching Dawn to do photography and stuff like that. And just, I remember being handed Dad's camera, and some of the photos I got, they're all up in the loft somewhere. I've got prints of loads of them. The few photographs that I have of Dad, I took or my brother took. He was never in the photos because he was always taking photographs of everyone. So that's why I made an effort to try and take loads of photos of Sam, even if it really annoyed him, because it reminded me of Dad. It did. It reminded me of our holidays. But I feel for Sam quite a lot because, like I said, I've got family and friends that are in the military. I know quite a few people, to be fair, who have been in the military or have people who they know. And they're a weird bunch, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. And they can come across as quite cold. They can come across as quite rude and blunt. But like I said, I don't think I can really summarize it better than I said in the video. They have to be like that to survive the life that they have to live. And it's their way of dealing with it. And I could never judge anyone for doing what they need to survive. Granted, not at the expense of other people, but it's kind of justifiable how he was and how he didn't really know how to love in any other way. His way of loving Dawn was to make sure she could survive if she ever needed to. The final one that just split me down the middle, mostly after the game, was Lewis. I think I reached such a meditative state chopping fish. I thought how that was going to go was we were going to put a hand in, and then he was maybe going to have a bleed out or go into shock and then die in hospital or something like that. The second we got to the top of those stairs and I saw the guillotine, I know I spent the whole thing going, no, pressing W on my keyboard. No, I can't do that. No. But it was just this grim, I don't know, just grim fascination with it. It's haunting because it happens. Mundanity and routine can destroy you if you don't feel like you have a sense of self. If you try and run away from it, if you make that all you are, I think that's something that I kind of fell into the trap of doing in my life, definitely. I've worked mundane jobs. Goodness, I think most jobs I've ever done are the mundane, repetitive, over and over and over again kind of jobs. And it's soul-crushing, especially when you're younger. Like, I feel like there's too much pressure to try and be old and to try and be mature. You know? If you're in your 20s, you are young. Stop trying to be an adult. I know 50-year-olds who are not adults. I know 60-year-old. I knew a 77-year-old who is definitely not an adult. The biggest child I've ever met. There's too much pressure put on people. And that is what ultimately got to Lewis, I think. He just became disillusioned with everything. He's like, if this is all there is to life, and going home and not being funny, probably not a great household to live in. I appreciate Edie was great at telling stories, but Dawn was traumatized from generational trauma being passed on, and then Sam, everything that happened with her dad. It's not great, and it has repercussions. Is there a curse? I don't think so. I don't think that there is an actual curse. It makes a great story, but ultimately things happen, and it's terrible. It is, but things do happen. But there's no point taking it personally. In the best way possible, the universe doesn't care. We are so incredibly tiny and insignificant and here for such a fraction of a blink of an eye. But that is what makes it special. The age-old question, would you live forever? No. No, please no. Definitely not. I want this to have an end, and I want it to mean something, and all the choices to get me somewhere. You know? That's enough waxing lyrical for now, though. Fantastic game. Cried. It was much needed. It was a good therapeutic cry. And it was nice to have a game that narrated it for me, because I felt like I didn't have to just keep talking for the sake of talking. But I don't think it's a game I'm going to go back to. It's not like Outer Wilds where every now and then I'll load it up just to kind of go sit by a campfire. I think it's very much, no, I'm done. I'm aware I've missed a lot of achievements. I looked at the achievements afterwards. Didn't know you could look through the peepholes. That happens. I walked up to a peephole early in the game. Nothing popped up. So I just ignored it and just didn't try from there on. So, yay. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, if you've made it this far through the video, for watching my final thoughts and stuff. That makes it sound like I'm going to die. I'm not planning on dying, don't worry. But my final thoughts on the game. Wonder what's next. We'll see. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As usual, I have been Stirx. You've been incredible. And I will catch you wherever our little adventure goes next.